Hey there everybody, just doing a review for this VigorPool Lake 300 portable power station. This is a 320 watt hour power station with a 300 watt max output, and it does use lithium iron phosphate batteries, which is a pretty big deal because it's a power station that's keeping up with the times, and we'll get more into that a little later on in this review. But just taking a look at the box itself real quick right over here. It's a pretty nice box, I gotta say, as strange as it sounds. It just has that minimal aesthetic look to it. You get the power station at the front, Lake 300 at the front as well. Over on this side, you do get the VigorPool logo. And over on this side, you do get the specifications, how you can use the power station, and what's included in the box. Just a nice backside to have that includes a whole host of information that's going to be pretty useful to look at when you receive the power station. And this is the vigorpool.com website. You can go to the website, learn more about the company, learn more about what other products they may sell. I think they do sell another power station that's like even higher capacity and a lot more stronger than this Lake 300 power station. But this Lake 300 power station is of course going to be more affordable than their higher capacity power station. And so yeah, you do get this accessories cable right over here that includes this AC charging brick and this car charging cable. This car charging cable is incredibly long and thick. Why not, I suppose. I mean, it just feels really high quality. And yeah, this is the charging brick right over here. Uses a DC barrel connector that's used with the DC input port on the power station. And yeah, you also get this user guide envelope that includes quite a bit of paperwork. Inside the envelope, you'll find this user manual that has a ton of useful information. As you can see, this is the product specifications panel on the or in the manual, I mean. And yeah, there we go. We're gonna get more into that in a few minutes. And this is the warranty card. Yeah, so yeah, once you sign up for the warranty, you do get 2 years to consumers who purchase VigorPool products. 2-year warranty. That's pretty good, I gotta say, for power stations, for a product like this. 2-year warranty is pretty nice. You also get stickers in the box. That is a pretty nice touch. Everybody likes stickers, and if you don't like stickers, that's completely fine. But it's just nice that they included stickers with their product. I don't know, it's just nice to have stickers with products. You also get this piece of paper right over here that gives you info about their social media accounts, their email, their website, and just a thank you for purchasing their product. And yeah, just really nice paperwork to have, including the stickers. I think the stickers is the most important thing included in the box with the power station. And yeah, let's just take a closer look at this power station right over here. Let me just move everything off to the side, and we'll just take a closer look at the Lake 300 power station. Alright you guys, so just taking a closer look at the VigorPool Lake 300 portable power station. This is a pretty small power station with a 10 by 7 by 8 form factor, and it weighs 9.5 pounds. So small power station, 9.5 pounds is pretty lightweight in my opinion. It is made easier with this fixed handle that makes it easier to lift up the power station and move it around. I prefer fixed handles, honestly, rather than using foldable handles that sway around in your hand when you pick them up. And so yeah, I mean, just taking a look at the front of the power station, this is where you're going to be spending most of the time with it. It has all the functional parts. Just taking a quick look around of the unit. Over on this side, it does have the vent for the internal fans. Nothing at the back. Vent for the internal fans right over here. And we're back at the front again. Over at the bottom, it does have specifications, warnings, in case you want to read these warnings before you use the power station, and also these rubber pads to prevent the power station from actually touching the floor. And there we go. And oh yeah, of course, over at the top, you got the handle, of course, as I mentioned. You also get this wireless charging pad. You can place wireless charging phones on it to wirelessly charge from. One thing that was kind of funny that I found, this handle's in the way, so you have to slide your phone in like this to wirelessly charge it. It's not a problem at all. I'm actually really happy that having this fixed handle didn't stop them from adding a wireless charging pad. This was a really nice touch, but I just find it funny, like you just have to slide it right in. Some power stations would have a foldable handle, just to fold away, just keep this place clear, so you can just like place your phone on top. Honestly, I don't care. I'm actually happy that they went with a fixed handle because it's just easier to use a fixed handle, and I'm still happy that they went with a wireless charging pad. And yeah, there we go. We'll get to using the wireless charging pad a little later on in this review. And yeah, let's just take a closer look at the front of the power station to see how to actually start using it. All right, you guys. So when it comes to actually start using the power station, you do have to hold down this power button right over here for a few seconds, and then the screen turns on. It does show the power capacity in the middle. Over to the left, it does show the input wattage. Over to the right, it does show the output wattage. This screen does remind me of EcoFlow power station screens just a bit. It is missing the estimated runtime. I don't think the screen actually has the estimated runtime, but we'll see when we actually start using the power station. And so yeah, to turn on the DC outlet section or the AC outlet section, you just have to press the power button just like that once you have the power station turned on, and you just have to press it just like that, and it also shows up on the screen depending on what section you have turned on. So that's pretty nice. And you also get this LED flashlight. Just press that. It has this constant on mode, and it is pretty bright. It actually does count for the output wattage on the screen as well, so that's pretty cool. It does have 3 settings. It has this constant on mode, and it has a SOS mode as well as a flashing mode, just like that. Yeah, that is pretty bright. Yeah, so for the output ports, you do have this cigarette lighter port that has a 10 amp 12 volt output, 120 watts right there. And these DC 5521 ports have a 3 amp 12 volt output, 72 watts total. And for the charging port section, these charging ports are really nice. So you get a 100 watt USB-C power delivery port and 2 USB-A quick charge ports. Yeah, I mean, these are fast charging ports right over here, especially that 100 watt power delivery port that can be used as a output and a input. We're going to get more into the input recharging for this power station in just a second. And for the AC outlet section, you do get 2 AC outlets. You are able to plug in a 3-prong appliance into one of these outlets. Like, you can plug in a 3-prong appliance right there, and then you're free to plug in a 2-prong appliance over to this bottom outlet. And it does have a 300 watt output along with a pure sine wave output to make sure that your appliances are running optimally within that 300 watt range, that is. And so yeah, that is the output section. For recharging this power station, it's actually really neat. So you do get the option to choose 2 input ports or use them both at the same time. You can use the DC input port to recharge the power station, or you can use the USB-C power delivery port to recharge this Lake 300 power station at 100 watts of input power, or the DC input is 90 watts of input power. As long as you have a 100 watt power delivery wall charger, you can recharge this power station via the USB-C port at 100 watts, which is faster than the DC input. Or, even better, you can use them both at the same time. You can use the DC input port and the USB-C port to recharge the power station and get a 190 watt input speed for the Lake 300 power station. Going from 0 to 100 for a 320 watt hour power station, that's going to be giving you about an hour and a half, 2 hour recharge time, which is really nice. I like it when mini power stations like this have dual recharging input ports. That's exactly what it has right here. And so yeah, with that said, let's just go ahead and start using this VigorPool Lake 300 power station. I'm going to start with the charging ports, and then I'm going to move on to the AC outlets to see how they perform as well. I'm going to be running a capacity test to see how much capacity we're able to pull from this power station. And so yeah, let's just go ahead and start using this Lake 300 power station to see how it performs. All right, you guys, so I do have all the charging ports being used in this test, which includes the 100 watt USB-C power delivery port and the 2 USB-A quick charge ports. I've got this Lenovo laptop charging at its max speed of about 26 watts. Which is really good. 100 watts of power delivery is going to be able to charge most USB-C laptops and other devices at their max speed, which is why having 100 watts of power delivery on this power station, or any other power station really, is such a big deal. 100 watts of PD is just really dependable and reliable for a lot of devices at this point. I've got this Galaxy Note 9 fast charging from the quick charge port, and I've also got this LG G7 fast charging from the other quick charge port. And let me go ahead and test out that wireless charging pad at the top. Just place it on top right over here. In case you're wondering, the wireless charging pad at the top is automatically turned on when you have the power station turned on. It's not controlled by the DC section or the AC outlet section. So once you have the power station on, you can use wireless charging. And so yeah, wireless charging is fast wireless charging. It's going to be about a 10 watt or 15 watt output, which is great that this Lake 300 power station features fast wireless charging. And yeah, there we go. That is the charging section for this Lake 300 power station. Let's get into testing out the AC outlets. I do have a new multimeter that does test out waveform. I'm going to check out if it's actually able to output like a pure sine wave like it says it does. And yeah, let's get to testing that out. Alright you guys, so just back with the Lake 300 power station. I am powering this crock pot right over here at its high setting. The power station is currently outputting 200 watts. And I've got this graphical meter right over here to measure the pure sine wave output. This is my first time using this. I really don't know how to use this thing yet. I've looked up a YouTube video and read the manual just a little bit while I'm working on this review, and I just wanted to get started on using this graphical meter just to get familiar with it. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing, but I just wanted to measure if the inverter was able to output pure sine wave, and I think that is it. That does look like a pure sine wave output, I think. I just got to get more familiar with it, to be honest. But that's what's happening right there. And yeah, let me go ahead and grab a heat gun real quick, just to test out the output for this VigorPool Lake 300 power station to see how it's able to handle that 300 watt max output and beyond. If I do push it, if it's able to power, you know, appliances beyond that 300 watt max output. And so yeah, I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so just back with the heat gun. I'm going to be testing it out with this Lake 300 power station to see how far I can push it. And let me just go ahead and pop it on. I'm going to start at low, of course. And yeah, we're just going to see how it runs. Okay, so it's outputting about 100 watts. I'm just going to slowly turn it up. Uh-oh. What's happening to that sine wave right there? So there we go. Not too sure what happened right there. I don't think that screen is accurate. It wasn't showing the accurate wattage reading. I'm pretty sure I went over the 300 watt max output, and that's what caused the sine wave to start to get messed up, because I think it started to regulate the power output, and eventually the power station shut down. Let me get that electricity monitor just to monitor the wattage output to see if it is accurate or not. And so yeah, I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so just back with the electricity monitor connected into the power station. I'm just going to turn on the heat gun just to see if that screen is accurate, or if the electricity monitor is more accurate at showing the wattage output. And yeah, let's just get started. So yeah, I mean, I've got it on low right now. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there goes that test, honestly. I mean, I think the heat gun is just way too powerful for a 300 watt power station like this. And so yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna probably run this crock pot and that mini crock pot that I have at the same time to see if it's able to reach that 300 watt max output for this power station, or at least close enough to it, because I think the mini crock pot has an output of 90 watts. This large crock pot has the output of 200 watts. You know, we're going to be at about 290 watts. And so yeah, I'm just going to test out the output that way. Let's just move on to testing out the crock pots, I suppose. Alright you guys, so just back with the two crock pots connected to the power station. I got the mini one and the large one. I'm just going to turn them on. Set this one to high. That has a 90 watt output. Yep. And set this one to high, and that should have a 200 watt output. And so yeah, we've got a 290 watt output going on right over here with both these crock pots turned on simultaneously. I'm just gonna have them run for about 10 minutes to see if they're able to run you know, simultaneously, and if this power station is able to handle that 290 watt output for 10 minutes straight, you know, which it should be able to. And so yeah, I'm just gonna come back in 10 minutes to see if they're both still running. Alright you guys, so after about 12 minutes and 30 seconds, the power station is still running these two crock pots right over here. We've still got that 289 watt output, so I mean, that's great. I think the hard limit of this power station is 300 watts of power. You know, it can't go over that, and if it does, it automatically shuts down, which is probably what happened with the heat gun, honestly. I think the heat gun just like went beyond 300 watts too quickly, and it just shut down. Just taking a look at the manual real quick, it does say 300 watts total. 300 watts max output. It doesn't say anything about like being able to power appliances beyond that 300 watt max output. So I mean, I suppose, yeah. I mean, there we go. I mean, it's nothing negative about the Lake 300 power station. If it's only capable of outputting 300 watts through its AC outlets, that's what it's capable of. I just wanted to see if it's actually able to run, these two crockpots at the same time, and it's doing really well with it. Let's just move on to recharging the power station. Let me show you guys how the recharging works, especially the dual recharging through the DC input port and the USB-C port. And so yeah, let's just get to that. Alright guys, so for the recharging for the VigorPool Lake 300 power station, as I mentioned before, it does have dual recharging, meaning that you can use the DC input port and the USB-C port as the input port as well. You can use them both at the same time to get a 190 watt input speed for this VigorPool power station, which is very convenient. 190 watts of input speed is going to recharge this unit a lot faster than say 90 watts from the DC input or 100 watts from the USB-C port. This dual recharging method is really helpful for these mini type of power stations, just to get them back to full power a lot faster. However, I recommend getting a 100 watt power delivery wall charger to make the most of that USB-C input speed. Just to make sure that you're getting 100 watts into that USB-C port to maximize on that recharging speed right there. And yeah, that is the dual recharging for the Lake 300 power station. Really nice, really convenient having that faster recharge rate. Going from 0 to 100 at a 190 watt input is going to be able to get this unit back to full power within about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I'm just going to let it recharge back to 100% so I can run an AC capacity test. I will be doing an AC capacity test in this review. I won't be running a DC capacity test, unfortunately, but I will be running 2 AC capacity tests. One with a mini crock pot and one with a large crock pot right over there. And so yeah, just gonna wait until this reaches 100% and then we're gonna move on to the AC capacity test. Oh, and I did forget to show the fast recharging capabilities of this Lake 300 power station. And right here, I've just got this large crock pot right over here being powered at high, and I've got the unit recharging from the DC port and the USB-C port. So fast recharging is capable with the Lake 300 power station. If a power station doesn't allow you to pass through charge with it, it's not worth getting. Pass through charging is standard for power stations these days. So I mean, yeah, it's good to see that this Lake 300 fits that standard. Alright you guys, so for the first AC capacity test, I'm going to be running this mini crockpot right over here from the Lake 300 power station using this electricity monitor. I'm going to be tracking the watt hours. This is a low wattage appliance, which is why it's going to be the first AC capacity test that I'm going to be running. For the second test, I think I'm just going to use a larger crock pot that has a higher wattage. So yeah, let me just go ahead and turn this on right now. Yeah, a 90 watt output, and I'm just going to be tracking the watt hours with this screen. And yeah, I'll just be back when the Lake 300 power station is at 0%, so we can actually see the AC capacity efficiency that we're able to pull from the AC outlets. Alright you guys, so just back with the Lake 300 power station, I did run it down to 5% by running this mini crock pot over here at 90 watts of output power. And so something strange that I found is that this Lake 300 power station, it shuts off the power to the AC outlet section and the DC outlet section when it reaches 5%. So you can only use the charging ports at 5%. I'm not too sure why that is. I suppose that it needs a certain amount of power capacity to power the AC outlet section and DC section. Kind of strange, honestly, but you know what? It's actually not that big of a deal because at the end of the capacity test, I've got the electricity monitor being powered from this Delta 2 power station. I was able to pull 280 watt hours, having this mini crock pot run at high right over here. And yeah, 280 watt hours from a 320 watt hour power station. That gives us a 88%, well 87% efficiency rating. It depends on if you want to round up or not. But yeah, an 87% efficiency rating from this Lake 300 power station with a low wattage appliance, which is 90 watts. That's pretty good. That's actually a really good test. Some power stations have a very low efficiency rating when it comes to their AC capacity testing, such as this like Delta 2 power station. I think I got like a 70% efficiency rating, which was like kind of bad. Like, it's okay, I suppose, But I mean, for this Lake 300 power station, that's pretty impressive with a 87% efficiency rating. That said, I was running an appliance at 90 watts only. This unit has a 300 watt max output, and so I'm going to just run just one more AC capacity test using a larger crock pot. Let me just get this back to full power, and I'll be right back to run another AC capacity test. Alright, you guys, so just back with the Lake 300 power station. I've got this large crock pot connected to the AC outlet, just measuring the kilowatt hours for this AC capacity test, using a 200 watt output just to see how much capacity or if there's any change with the AC capacity that you're able to pull from the unit when using a 200 watt appliance. And so yeah, I'm just gonna wait until the unit reaches 0%, come back to see how much capacity this electricity monitor is able to pick up. And yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so I did power the large crock pot until the capacity for this Lake 300 power station reached 5%, which automatically turns off the AC outlet section. And so what I ended up with was a 270 watt hour reading that gives us a 84% efficiency rating through the AC outlet when powering a 200 watt appliance. That's still really impressive. Some power stations have much lower efficiency ratings through their AC outlets, 60%, 70%. Like I said before, this Delta 2 had like about a 70% efficiency rating through its AC outlets. And so I mean, yeah, this VigorPool Lake 300 power station, comes close to providing the capacity that it says it has. That efficiency is really good with this unit in comparison with other power stations. I'm not too sure if it's because of that lithium iron phosphate battery that it uses, but I mean, yeah, there we go. Efficiency rating is really nice. All right, and when it comes to the build quality of the Lake 300 power station, it does have a solid build to it. I didn't find any like cheap feeling parts. In my opinion, I think it's right up there with like top leading brands like Blue Eddy and EcoFlow. I know this is from a smaller brand, but I didn't feel anything like cheap about the power station. It's made of plastic just like any other power station on the market. But everything just feels really solid to use. The buttons are nice to use. They don't feel cheap. The screen also, it's bright. You're gonna be able to see the screen out in the daylight outside. I mean, and it shows the output wattage, input wattage, capacity in the middle. It also shows it also shows what's activated. It shows whether the fan is blowing or not. And yeah, it's a nice screen. The only thing I wish it had was the estimated runtime. When a power station has a estimated runtime on the screen, it just gives it an edge. It's just one more thing that like puts it over other power stations, in my opinion. The estimated runtime may not be very accurate, but it's just one more thing that's nice to have with a tech product like this, because you want to know how long you have before you run out of capacity. And yeah, that's really about it. Build quality is nice, and design quality is pretty nice as well. Alright, you guys, so that is the review for the VigorPool Lake 300 portable power station. This unit is pretty good. I had a good time reviewing it. When it comes to 300 watt power stations in general, I don't think there are many that use lithium iron phosphate batteries at this point. There's like the EcoFlow River 2. There's that Citeki power station that I saw on Amazon. There's the Blue Eddy EB3A that actually has a lower capacity than this one, but has a 600 watt output, I believe, though. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are still up and coming. But if you have to choose between a lithium ion or lithium iron phosphate 300 watt power station, definitely go with a lithium iron phosphate power station such as this Lake 300 power station. This is priced pretty well. I think it's like 20% off over on Amazon. I will leave a product link down in the description below. This is just another competitor that's going to be pretty good to have. Lithium iron phosphate, it just makes sense because you're getting many more charge cycles. Because I think the manual on this I think the manual for this power station does state that it gets about 2,000 or more charge cycles and maintaining 80% or more of its efficiency with its battery. Usually it's 4,000, but I think they're just saying 2,000 just in case. You're just getting more of your money's worth with lithium iron phosphate batteries. Just honestly, like lithium ion batteries for power stations at this point, it doesn't make sense. You're just gonna be wasting your money, I suppose, at this point. I mean, I've got to be honest, like lithium iron phosphate is just incredible. You're going to be able to use the unit for a much longer time. And down in the description below, I will leave a product link to this Lake 300 power station. It's priced pretty well over on Amazon. I think it's 20% off. I think the The original price is $300. I think they have a 20% off coupon over on Amazon. Yeah, product link down in the description below. And also, I will have a review article down in the description once I have it published. And yeah, there we go. I will see you all in the next video. All right, goodbye.